Hi. I want to make a video on the subject of every time you feel good, it's a false sense. So I guess what I mean by this is every time you feel good, it's not really, it's not much of anything beyond a point that you're feeling good and you're going to feel bad again anyway. So every time you feel good, you reach the top of the mountain, and once you feel good, you're already on the way, you're already on the decline to feel bad. Because sometimes you just get these random dopamine rushes and you feel kind of good for a while. It's like, oh yes, anything, I feel motivated now, then it goes away. But it's a good way to, oh, okay, I wasn't feeling motivated. Oh, I feel good now. Let's get something done while I'm feeling good. And once I get in it, sort of like making these videos, I wasn't feeling good at all before started making these videos. But I said, okay, let's get it. I was feeling kind of okay. Let's do it. I wasn't having a dopamine rush or saying anything like that, a serotonin rush or whatever it is. But it's, I just, let's try. And now I'm in the middle of it. And it's becoming easier. So sometimes you get these things, but when you have a good feeling, and it's an illusion. It's an illusory kind of thing. It's a fleeting kind of thing. I guess that's a good way of describing the situation. Feeling good is you're a victim of feeling good. When you feel good, you're ready for the falling. You're ready for the decline. You're ready for the descension. You're going right back down to ground zero. You're doing nothing more than you feel good. And I mean, I wanted to describe this a certain way when I was originally coming up with the idea. But you're feeling good. It's fleeting. I mean, that's the fundamental nature. That's the fundamental aspect. I might be saying exactly what I wanted to say, I just don't realize it. It was more of a revelation when I came up with the video to begin with. I can't necessarily put my finger on it, but just looking at myself in the camera anyway. Yeah, so when you're feeling kind of, so you feel good, yeah. It's a fleeting experience. You sort of like, you feel good, and it's now what? I feel good, now what? And that's exactly the mechanism that we're doing. We feel good, now it's begging the question, now what? Now what's beyond this? And that's all there is. But then people ask, well, what? Then people ask, well, what do you need to feel beyond that? And then it's sort of like that thing. It's like the people arguing against the idea of, that argue for, say, something like a singularity, something greater than the understand, or beyond our understanding. The same people making that distinction, saying that there's some kind of singularity, some fourth dimension, fifth dimension, 100th dimension, something beyond our understanding, some singularity that's going to happen, are the same people that say, well, what's wrong? It's a subjective reality. And it's not only just a subjective reality, a singularity where we're all going to meet at one and everything's going to all make sense at once, and it's all going to be objective then. But it's subjectively objective, objectively subjective. And all of a sudden it's going to all make sense, are the same ones, okay, what was I going to say? The people making that distinction, I can't remember what I was going to say with that. I was going to say something about making a comparison where it's a contradiction in the way they see things. They see things in a very contradictory. Yeah, are the same ones. Okay, the ones that come up with like this idea of a singularity and saying there's something more. The same ones saying, why can't you just live with circumstances the way they are? Just take a walk outside and feel the breeze in your face, and that should be enough for you. And are the same people why do you expect anything more? Why do you expect anything more? Well, you're the one saying there's something more, right? I mean, you're the one that's saying there's something more to reality than there actually is. And yet you're saying, well, why are you expecting more out of reality? They're saying there's more to reality, singularity. But then you say, well, I feel good now. What? There's nothing to this mechanism. It's a futile mechanism. And then they say, well, why can't you just be happy with walking the dog, feeling the warm wind in your face, the cool wind in your face on a hot summer day, a cool summer day? And then they expect you to take that seriously. And I think the same distinction can be made with arguments, the typical arguments between, say, atheists and theists. Sort of like you can pray to God long enough, and then you can be repentant of all your sins, yet you're going to go to hell if you just fart in someone's face wrong or something. Or at all. If you do one little wrong thing, you're going to hell, but if you pray, then you're fine. Does that not make any sense? You're going to pray, but You can beg. Oh, yeah, double standards for you, but sometimes you mistake that and say it out loud to other people. So you can pray and it can go away, but everyone else, nah. I can kill everyone, nah, it's okay. But I just have to pray it away. I kill, yay, pray away, yay, pray away, and that's all I do. I'm sort of like atheists, doing the same old thing or whatever. You arguing against anti-theists, arguing against that, and falling into the same old traps and arguing the same old cliche responses, not even knowing they're falling into the traps. Those same things are arguing the same mechanism. Yeah, theists don't really believe it, but they believe it. They believe it, but they don't believe it, but they're using it for their own purposes, but they're believing it enough to want to believe it. Yeah, and so on and so forth, that kind of thing. But I don't want to go into that because that's kind of off the subject. And the subject was feeling good, the mechanism of feeling good, and how it's tomfoolery. Feeling good is a very it's fool's gold, and that's what we're doing. We're part of the fool's gold. We can't do anything but fall into the mechanism of being happy. Feeling good is all we have, is to relief from some kind of suffering, and that's what makes it so illusory, so illusionary. It's just an escape. It's escapism, and that's all we're doing. We're falling for the escapism. We're going on a tropical island to escape from the depths of Davy Jones' locker. We finally reach the shores of a tropical island, but the chains are still on us, and we're going to be dragged right back down to Davy Jones' locker right when we reach right when we get a grasp of a breath of fresh air. We reach the top, and all of a sudden we're dragged right back down to Davy Jones' locker and climbing our way, right out of hell again, going, I'm finally in the clouds, and you go right back down. And, feeling, it is just a feeling. I feel good. Doesn't matter what makes you feel good, it's that you feel good, and that's what makes it so. It's just a feeling. Happiness is a state of mind. You've heard that platitude before, right? It's a feeling. It's just I feel so buzzed right now. Oh, everyone's getting killed around me. Ooh, yeah, I'm so cool. I'm so high. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take a tablet. I'm seeing everything. I feel so good now, even though hell's breaking loose around me. Doesn't matter what's happening. Whoa, man, that's awesome. Totally, tubularly awesome, bro. Yeah, man. Totally tubular, man. Oh, totally awesome, bro. You know, man? Yeah. I mean, what is it behind that? It's a feeling. It's very illusory. It's very ethereal, very ephemeral, very fleeting. It's fleeting, and it's nothing more than a feeling. It's not the circumstance. The circumstance create your feelings, but the feelings are nothing more than a reaction to a circumstance. They're a circumstance themselves. They're almost as ethereal as circumstances. So your feelings are the circumstance, but it's just a feeling. And I guess the feeling has a bleeding effect onto everything around you, but it is all inside of you. Sort of like when you're having, say, you're orgasming, it's all happening in you. The way you're viewing that other person is happening in you. That doesn't have to mean anything. That person's body or that person's beauty doesn't mean anything beyond a certain point. It's all happening inside of here. It's all just interaction. It's coming from here. That's where that feels so good. That looks so nice. Ooh, yes. Yeah, it looks so nice because you're interacting with it, and it seems so nice because it seems so nice to you. It doesn't mean anything beyond your projection. So that's what makes it so ethereal, so meaningless. It means something. Yes, it means something, but it doesn't mean quite that much. It means only something so much to a certain extent. Your satisfaction only means so much as escaping a negative to reach a positive. That's how much it means something. And it doesn't mean anything beyond that. So your good feelings only mean something because they're escaping from a bad feeling. And that's where the good feelings mean something. Because you're escaping something when you feel relief. I feel relief. And it only means something because I escaped a negative. And that's what makes it meaningful, is escaping a negative. A negative is what makes the positive mean something. It means nothing beyond escaping a negative. That's all it means. And that's why it's so ethereal, like I mentioned before, is because it's just a feeling. It's nothing more than a blow of dust in the wind, like that song, right? Dust in the wind, such. Um, and your curiosity of some of our dreams means more to us than actually achieving those dreams. It's chasing those dreams. I close my eyes are open now. I close only for a moment, and the moment's gone. And now it's right back to closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Now what? I feel good. Now what? Now what? I feel good. Now what? Oh, yeah. I feel good. Now what? Okay, I'm going to feel bad again so I can feel good again to feel bad again. Okay, to feel good again, to feel bad again, to feel good again, to feel bad again. I want to feel good again so I can feel bad again. But I want to feel super duper good so I can feel super duper bad, because being super duper good makes the relative position of feeling bad even greater, even if I'm not necessarily going down any further. I just went up. I didn't realize how up it could be until the relative position changed and my circumstances all of a sudden changed. Therefore, this isn't good enough anymore. I need that to feel good now to make it even better. So once you have the best, the feeling that you're having, ooh, that's about, and the feeling that you were having beforehand that was just right here, get off the screen. The feeling that you were having before that was so good, that was just right here. Now you need this to feel good, and now you need to go through a greater negative to make that thing feel so much better again. Yay! Life's so wonderful. It plays all these wonderful destructive tricks on you. Yeah, it's the circle of life. Yep, game applied. The same old circle of life, playing the same old tricks on you over and over and over again. Yay, life's so grand and wonderful. Yay. Wonderful. Yay, and all that great stupid stuff. That's life. Sorry. Try better next time. Wait, there is no next time. Oh well, I guess you're stuck. Too bad. Too bad, motherfucker. Fuck you. That's life. Big middle finger. Ah! That, it's sort of like people reacting in a certain way. Oh, that sucks. You got in a car accident and your head split open, but you're still alive. Oh, that sucks. And you're gonna be alive. You're alive, but they know you're alive, but they don't know how alive you are. So they're just gonna keep you on a life machine for the next 2 years. It's like, oh, that sucks. And that's their only reaction to it. Yeah, that sucks is preventing you. That perception of that sucks is preventing you. The very superficial reaction of that sucks is preventing you from you. That little meme of that sucks is preventing you from reaching the nirvana you want to reach of death. And you want them to say, that sucks, we need to end this person's life now. As opposed to, that sucks, oh well. That sucks. Well, screw you. But I can't do anything, I'm stuck. I'm a victim of being stuck in negative, crappy circumstances. That's life. That's life. That platitude, you want to use that platitude? That's life. That's life. It's life. That's life. And then really, that's all you can say. That's life. But I can try my best to mitigate against more life negative circumstance happening. Even though I'm a victim of the negative circumstance, it usually takes the people that are victims of the negative circumstance to create a better circumstance for the ones that are going to be a victim of the same negative circumstance. So it's about preventing your negative circumstance, creating a better circumstance for people that haven't had quite a negative circumstance, so they can have a positive circumstance and hopefully learn from that and not become the cliche happy person that doesn't understand the consequences of their actions necessarily as much as a person that's been a victim and been beaten down by life as much. But the sad people create better circumstances for sad people, create circumstances creating happy people or creating no people. So the negative that you feel is doing nothing but taking away from the negative. So your negative feeling is just preventing more negative. But your recognition can create a positive in recognizing exactly what you're accomplishing. Yeah, whatever that means. So yeah, we're just caught in the circle of life. That's life, is being a victim of your circumstance, and that's all we're a part of right now. You can only do so much to mitigate against those circumstances. Victims. That's all we are, is victims of our circumstance. Happy, happy. All you can do is cope with it. And that's all we're doing, is finding ways to cope with our circumstances. And that's all we can do, is cope. We can cope with the circumstances. We can't do anything more than try our best to cope with the circumstances and hope maybe that's good enough for me. And then again, you're coping no matter what, just to get to your death. Starting something to cope, to live, to die, to suffer, to live, to suffer, to die, to die, to be dead, to live, to suffer, to die again? What? Why? For what reason? Because my life means something now, because there's other lives existing, and therefore whatever effect I have based on this mechanism is going to have an effect on all these other pieces, because these other pieces created me, and I'm now a part of that mechanism. Because all these pieces leading up to me created me, and I'm part of that mechanism now. And I always was a part of the mechanism. So you're just, see, that's the thing. You're caught up in the mechanism. Yet we try to make all these distinctions, and we're caught on that level of making these distinctions. But the distinctions are supposed to work in a very crude and fundamental way. You know, a libertarian society would make the most sense according to determinism. But we're trying to mitigate against that and recognize that. We can only do so much to change that bedrock. That bedrock has a fundamental foundation that cannot be altered, because it's just the ethereal air pushing your things through the air, and it just reforms every time you put your hands through it and swipe through it. It doesn't change. It just, you can't touch it. It's the gear working behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, the curtain that you're never going to reach, regardless of you constantly opening all these curtains. You're never going to reach the curtain where the fundamental gears of life are working. The fundamental mechanism is not going to be changed. It's going to be changed only when you reach it, but it can't be reached. There's a contradiction and contrivance. So it doesn't mean anything beyond that. It's just negative circumstance after negative circumstance. That's all it is. And your feelings, you're feeling good? Well, your feeling good is just a trap. It's just a farce. It's a pointless endeavor. The false sense. Feeling good is a false sense, because your false sense is going to lead you right back to the same old crap again. You know, pulling the springs of attention to do the same old mechanism over and over again. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's it. I mean, really, I'm just going to be going over the same crap, and that's the thing. It's so simplistic. It's the same ideas over and over again. That's life. Redundancy. Repetition. Oh, I'm happy now. Okay, I could do something. I could do something to be part of the repetition. Okay, let's hope that I don't recognize this when I'm trying to enjoy myself. Oh, okay, well, I'm recognizing it now. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh, well. Yeah, that's life. In the end. But we're trying our best to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. Let's hope there's no more victims. Let's hope that's part of the future. The deterministic future that the first circumstance or cause created. Let's hope that it's a good one. So yeah, thank you, and I think that's all I want to say. And if I have anything else to add, I'll add it in another video. So thank you, and until next time.